Hello everyone! This is Naerina from 40k Theories, and welcome to the July 2025 edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. Unfortunately, Remlace was unable to make the audio for the video, but he has answered the questions. I'll just be reading his answers out loud, beep boop and so on. Oh, and if I have anything to add, I'll just add my own answers there as well. As always, if you'd like your questions answered, then click the link in the video description below and help support the channel by becoming a patron. Now, let's jump into the questions. Brandon A asks, why hasn't the Great Horned Rat tried to claw its way into the Warhammer 40,000 universe? And Remlace answers, why would he need to? There's currently nothing for him in the 40k universe to draw his attention, unlike Age of Sigmar, which has an entire race of beings born in his image, the Skaven. Can Ambles be quote-unquote tamed into becoming attack beasts for, say, Astartes, perhaps using implants in their brains to help? And Remlace answers, there's a scene in the novel Space Marine in where some renegade squads use Ambles as both tunneling beasts and mobile artillery platforms, but take that with a pinch of salt, given that the novel has been explicitly deemed as non-canon. The closest you'd probably get in the current canon is with the Ambots of Necromunda, which is just an Amble's nervous system implanted in a robotic shell with neural inhibitors and the like. Can someone leave the Imperial cult to join the Mechanicus priesthood? Would it just be a big scandal? They are the only two groups after all. And Remlace answers, technically yes, since that's what happens with aspirant Astartes who are selected to become Tech Marines. They'll be shipped off to Mars to be inducted into the machine cult, regardless of their previous religious beliefs. Sigma Knight asks, is it possible there will eventually be demons of the Tauvar? And Remlace answers, probably not, given that most of the Xenos gods appear to lack any demonic minions of their own, like there are no demons of Gork and Mork, or demons of Isha, for instance. But now, as Naerina's answer to that, or answer to Remlace's answer, I would like to draw a demonic Tau. I mean, that would be neat. Oh, Nurglite Eldari. Yeah. Yeah. When I have the time. How would Farsight react to the existence of the Tauvar? Remlace answers, he'd probably be the middle ground between Shadowsun and Kai's, in that he'd probably be like, oh, that's a thing. Not sure how I feel about that, if that makes any sense. Why would the Tau Empire allow allied races the freedom to worship as they please if it could risk the worship of chaos? And Remlace answers, because the majority of people in the Tau Empire believe the existence of gods and demons as actual spiritual entities is pure nonsense. They justify the existence of demons by calling them extra-dimensional lifeforms, kinda like how the Imperium used to do pre-heresy. Dragon of Elder asks, have you played any of the Total War Warhammer games? And Remlace answers, I tried, but my computer couldn't run it. I need to try again now that I have a decent machine. And Naerina answers, no, I haven't even had the time to play Rogue Trader. I did get Oblivion though, which is nice. Regardless of answer, which race/faction do you like best from it? And Remlace answers, Lizardmen. It's always Lizardmen, lol. And Naerina answers, yeah, figures of course it's a Lizardmen for him. I haven't played the game, but all in all, when it comes to 40k, for example, my absolute favorite are Orcs. But yeah, I haven't played Total War Warhammer. In the fantasy side of things, though they are in Age of Sigmar, Ideneth Deepkin. Absolutely, I like my elves under the sea. Anyway. Apparently Miao Ying met Sigmar when he was still Emperor. Does this put his journey east into a new light? Was he looking for some dragon fun time? And Remlace answers, I don't really know enough about Sigmar's backstory to comment. Sorry. And Naerina answers, go and check Eliphas's channel. There is a video in which I have voiced Miao Ying and goodness Sigmar, please just don't. No. Also, if anyone is from, the Eastern Asia parts that Miao Ying, supposedly emulates us, culturally, etc. Sorry about the accent that I do in the video, it is horrifying. Anyway, Caiaphas Crane asks, what are some special powers, if they have any, that blanks have? I remember one Sister of Silence in Siege of Terror had something like invisibility due to being a blank and nobody could see her. Something along those lines, and died a dumb death by just being in the way of Khan when he was charging into people and he didn't see her. His kill meter registered his kill, which confused him. And Remley's answers, yeah, that scene was weird. To my knowledge, blanks just don't have any powers like that. Part of me wonders if that scene was due to the writer misinterpreting certain details about them, like being invisible to psychers, etc. But no, from what I can recall at least, blanks do not have any special abilities aside their nullification aura. And Naerina adds to this, I think, anyone can correct me, but I do think that if a blank is in the vicinity of a psyker, the psyker does not like it. It just feels horrible, like this kind of horrible emptiness has entered their space and it is a horrifying thing for them. They just might start screaming like, get that thing away from me, that thing hurts me, etc., etc., when it comes to the blank. If I remember correctly, one of the, is For the Emperor, the Caiaphas Cain book, has this kind of a scene. Not sure, it's been ages since I read it. Anyway, but yeah, blanks are horrifying creatures to psychers because psychers delve in the realm of all kinds of spirits and magic and stuffs and souls, and then there's this creature that doesn't have a soul. Kind of, if you see the world in bright colors, etc., and then there's just void of colors, not just black, just a void of anything, that horrifies you. Yeah, anyway, I could rant on about this, but yeah. How powerful are the Red Corsairs compared to the Black Legion? And Remley's answers, so from what I can determine, the Black Legion is larger, being supposedly 10 times larger than the modern Wordbearers Legion, but the Red Corsairs are growing at a significantly faster rate. We go into more detail in our video about the hypothetical war between Huron and Abaddon, but as of this specific moment, the Black Legion is significantly more powerful than the Red Corsairs. But the Red Corsairs are probably the single largest non-Legion-affiliated warband currently, which still makes them incredibly powerful in their own right. What is your funniest moment from any Caiaphas Cain book? And Remley's answers, probably that one scene from The Beguiling where just before he shoots Emily Dubois, he tells her, sorry, I prefer blondes. And for Naerina specifically, I think it's when Amberly Vale just teleports into another room and just crashes into, was it boxes or something? I found that hilarious. And that concludes this edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. As always, if you'd like your questions answered, then click the link in the video description below and help support the channel by becoming a patron. Until next time, this has been Naerina from 40k Theories, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye!